Okay, this is Randy again, and we're going to make a test on hopefully what appears to be playing this before. This is a blackbird, as you can see right here. Um, I have the deflector down all the way, but it still really isn't far enough down for my purposes here. But we'll make most of it because you see there's no diffuser. And what I did is I took and put this arm, which you can see it's reasonably corroded, but the arm should work fine. So it's real old spring, 50 years old because it hasn't been touched. So we're going to see if that works. Um, Only thing that I've really done as far as making sure everything works here is um, the journal tube has been cleaned up on the outside. On the inside, you can see it's still pretty corroded. Um, but what I did is I put a black washer, uh, nylon washer from one of my cheap sprinklers, and then I put an O-ring underneath here because of the way this is designed with the there's the little cutouts right there, and it was the way they designed their washer back then. So since the washer is hard and leaks a lot, I'm trying to do this a little bit differently and see if I can make this work. So here we go. The threads on this plastic is better than the thread on that cheap plastic. And this goes in much smoother as well. Even though back years ago we had trouble with it stripping on a galvanized pipe. So what happened is the threads would cross, and then you go like, okay, now I got a problem. It would be hard to thread them correctly after that. Okay, let's see. I might get lucky here. And of course, remember, this is a regular um, spoon arm with no PJ or anything like that. So, okay, here we go. We'll find out what it will do. I hope I get lucky. I mean, all the ideas behind this should be right. Gotta wait till we get the air out of it. Going backwards is okay. And it is going forward. So I think the O-ring is slowing it down a little bit. I'm not really complaining too much because if this actually makes a complete cycle, um, in a way that's a partial success. I could always take those washers off, the rubber washer, the nylon washer, and the O-ring off, and put the old design back on there. But then, of course, it'll be leaking a lot. And we can try that. You know, there's no reason why we can't do that. Is it moving? Is it moving? Wow, really slowly. Parts of it, it was moving a little bit faster. I think the O-ring really does slow this down. So I'll probably be out to make another test um, with the original washer in there. And the original washer I have, I mean, it's almost a full-size washer. But the thing about it is, um, it's harder than it's supposed to be. And so it's not very effective as far as um, sealing the water from coming up between the journal tube and the sleeve, which doesn't help. And I see a little bit coming up even with this. Um, so the other spring that I had on there was probably not quite as tight as the original spring, so that's why you see the original spring on there now, even though it really is rusted. The Florida water, with all the minerals in it, has a tendency to do that to those parts. The springs would go quicker than anything. And then the other problem was getting dirt in between the journal tube and the sleeve, and constantly having to take them apart and clean them up and wash that stuff off. And a lot of times, even then, because of the minerals that would attach to the journal tube, it would take a little bit of effort to file that stuff off or sandpaper it off. Um, I got another journal tube inside that I've had in solution, along with another arm that's been in solution to clean that stuff off. And I pick it up every so often and clean more stuff off. But this one's more than sufficient because it's loose enough. So it's not like it's holding anything back. It's really the O-ring more than anything. As you can see, the movement is extremely slow. Um, I hate to call it even movement, but um, I want to see it actually go into the reverse cycle. I have another idea too. If I'm not able to get this to work with the with the original washer, which is what I'm going to eventually try, but we're not there yet. Let me put it that way. That will be the next test after this one. Um, Trying to get this to work. I knew this was going to be hard because these brass arm model Blackbirds were difficult at best to get to work. And even though they would, they didn't work well. And it was very common to see them stuck in one place because the journal tube and the sleeve were not not moving. Normally, when these sprinklers are working like they're supposed to, basically brand new, they work reasonably well. But over time, the environment between sand and the minerals in the water do them in. And that's where one of the reasons why the all plastic models um, had so much advantage over this particular model. And I think it's one of the reasons why Rainbird eventually went to a plastic arm, which I have inside, and will eventually test that after I get this one to work. Um, Man, doesn't look like it wants to move at all. Come on. Well, I'm going to give it a little bit of a help here. Even that's pretty resistant. I'm pushing and it's resisting. So yeah, that O-ring really um, isn't helping, at least not for this purpose. Well, it goes backwards okay, and that initial forward is okay. I mean, it's slow. Unlike the rain time, which if I had to put it out here and say that was going to be my regular daily sprinkler, I could do that with that one. This one I can't do that with. Um, yeah, see, initially it starts out okay, and then it gets to this point, and it really slows down. The one thing that I can say pretty unequivocally, whether it's a plastic arm or a um, brass arm or brass sprinkler with a brass arm, it works pretty consistently. So that didn't go quite like I had expected um, or had hoped. So we're going to test out another Rain Bird. So give me a second. So you've seen this one before, or one like it. Not this particular one because I haven't tested this one yet. But this one is an old design. Again, it is a Rain Bird. It says Rain Bird right there. I originally thought that this was not a Rainbird body, but it is a Rainbird body. It has the diffuser, has the deflector, it has um, the little edges in here to dispute uh, to disperse the water differently than most of the cheap sprinklers. You know, it's just smooth. Um, so I have pretty good confidence about this one working. Um, but again, you've already seen several that I've put on that were like this with the PJ arm. Um, but I saw it laying there and I'm going like, well, let me go ahead and try that as well. So we're going to do that. And eventually I am going to get this one working. So we're going to try it again with the original washer again. Not right now, but I will. Um, it'll be in my next video segment. We'll take that off. We'll put this one on. Eh. See, it's crooked. It's hard to get these to go in straight. And strangely enough, that's part of the difference between the even harder. It's hard to see because of the lights going down. This is a better plastic, the Delrin plastic. I don't know if this is Delrin or not, but the quality is not as good as this one. Well, it feels like it's going in right, but I'm not so sure that it is. It'll work for our purposes. No, that's not going to work for our purposes. It is in at an angle. And that's what I'm trying to prevent. Why is it doing that? Yeah, it's still going in at an angle. All right, that ain't going to happen today. The thread looks all right. That one ain't going to happen today, as much as I want to. Now this is another sprinkler that I have. And because it has a yellow top, you might think it's a Nelson or a Gilmore, basically the same company. Got these, and obviously it's a model that's not being made anymore. Um, um, can't even see it. Sorry about that. Um, I'm not sure if this model is being made anywhere, but to the best of my knowledge, this was somebody's garage sale items, and I got, I think, 5 of these, and they got the spike base. But I'm a little bit concerned that this may not work because this arm is really light. But we'll find out if I can put it on here. Oh yeah, that's going on nice and smooth. Another neat thing about this particular model is these are single lever stops, and that is, they're definitely not perfect by any stretch of imagination here because they are kind of on the loose side. And let's see, let's get this. Okay. Well, we'll find out. Okay, we'll find out if that works. That's unusual that the Blackbird didn't want to go in there. Oh, look at that, it's working. Okay, got to go in the other direction. Now the water goes out to the side, which is not what it's supposed to do, but in general, I'm surprised because I expected this not to work. That's too far. Huh. Kind of expected this almost not to work because that spring was so light and the arm barely came to the to hit the body. But you can see that the arm comes out a long ways, which is fine. Other than the PJ arm shooting the water off to about a 30-degree angle to the side, because it's getting the sidewalk wet. Um, the sprinkler works fine as well. And again, I didn't pay a lot of money for it, but the big thing was it came with a plastic push-in stand, that you push into the ground. But I don't need that, and nor do I want it. The ground here does not give very well. More lava soil than really good earth. taking care of the lawn here is a little bit different than in many areas of the country. I have to fertilize frequently. Wow. I didn't know what to expect from the sprinkler. I mean, I've got several of them, and although it looks like a Nelson style with the yellow top, but it's not. Even the little label that was attached to it that said like evergreen or something like that. It was um, just a little label, but there's no markings on the sprinkler itself. And that's the other thing. Your named sprinklers like Nelson, Rain Bird, Orbit, Gilmore are going to put their name on the sprinkler, and you don't see that here or on a lot of the others that are available. Let's take a look at this from a different point of view. Hopefully I don't get wet over here. Oh yeah, of course I'm going to get wet. Yeah, still getting me wet. All right, I don't want to get wet. This is not as fast as the last one. I think that I tested the one with the green arm. It was pretty fast. So let's you see that sprinkler arm is coming back a good ways. All right, well, enough for the test today. And I hope you subscribe and press the like button. And we will see you the next time.